Okay, just gonna do this. This is a different video than I usually do, and I've talked myself out of doing it several times today. Basically, it's about what I go through sometimes. Well, I'm gonna live with it every day, but like right now, in the last few days, I'm in what they call a flare. Because I have SLE, lupus. I was diagnosed with it, I want to say, my memory is like gone. 2011, 2012, something like that. I was still married to my ex, who's now still a really best friend of mine, but I was working at Walmart as a cashier, and I don't know if you probably know that Walmart has all these on the ceiling, all those fluorescent lights, which fluorescent lights is basically the same as, it gives off the UV lighting, just like or rays. Sorry, I don't feel good, so this is, well, I can't talk anyway, but part of the reason why I wasn't sure if I should do it, because I'm not at my best right now. Okay, I got a headache and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, the UV rays and the fluorescent lights and the actually I wrote some stuff down because I knew I'd forget what I was talking about. If I can find it. Anyway, I don't know why I bother taking notes, because I never can read my writing. But yeah, lupus was the first thing I was diagnosed with, and then after that, several years later. No, I'm lying. Why am I lying? Sorry. Lord. Okay, just hang with me, okay? Actually, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, fibromyalgia. My lips are dry, and I do not have any other time I'd have chapstick or Vaseline right here. Oh well, we'll be okay. Yeah, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia at a really young age, and which I know is real, because I mean, like, a lot of the symptoms, I mean, like, there's times when, and no one's ever really understood it, like people I've been in a relationship with, there's times where I can't, if they might try to just barely touch me or hold me or hug me, and it hurts. It hurts, and that's hard to understand unless you have felt that. Okay, and that's one of the many things that fibromyalgia, will do to you, and the fatigue and all that. But anyway, back in the day when I was diagnosed with it, it was even doctors would say that's not real. It's just something that, some doctors, come up with that as a free for all thing for like, if they don't know what else is going on, they'll just say fibromyalgia. And so that made me to where I was I felt shamed to even mention it to anyone. So, and I still tend to do that. I usually do not bring up fibromyalgia when I talk about what different ailments I have. But this right here, we're gonna be totally honest, because even if I just help one other person today, even if that's just me, by venting, I'm going to be honest about it. So, but yeah, and I don't know if it's still that way, if there's still some people that think that, this fibromyalgia is not real, but I know that it's a lot more understood and recognized. And I actually, later on, I had an actual I can't even say it, fibromyalgia specialist that I went to, and she actually had me on pain pills. And I was on pain pills for many years, and it really did help, because I had pain for other reasons too. Cause, I had been in an abusive relationship and pushed down and had injuries, but yeah, it helped a lot. And I don't have an addictive personality, so I never got addicted to them. But anyway, then later on in the years, when everything got so where doctors were afraid to or couldn't prescribe pain pills anymore unless you went to a pain clinic, which I tried that. They sent me to a pain clinic, and they made me feel like I had a drug problem. I just wasn't treated like I was used to being treated by my doctors. And so my stubbornness probably just hurt me, because I still don't get pain pills. I get muscle relaxers, which I have to have it basically because I can't, most of the time I can't fall asleep on my own. I have to have help, and my doctor didn't like sleeping pills, so she gave me muscle relaxers instead. And so anyway, back to the lupus diagnosis. Like I said, I already had been diagnosed with the fibromyalgia, and then so I was working at Walmart as a cashier, and it was 2012, 2011, somewhere around there. I was still married to my ex-husband, who's still my best friend. I hope I'm not repeating myself. Anyway, so basically what happened was as I was working at Walmart, like the longer I worked there, the sicker I was getting. I was just getting like exhausted beyond exhaustion. It's hard to explain, because everybody's like, oh yeah, I get tired too and stuff, and I understand, I'm sure everybody does, but it's a different kind of exhaustion, different feeling with an autoimmune disease. I hope that doesn't sound, because I'm not discounting anybody else, So everybody goes through things. I know that, but it was that, and then I was getting rashes. My body was just aching and hurting, just worse than usual. I was used to hurting, but anyway, it was just getting out of control, and I started missing days because I was so sick. So I went to the doctor, and they had me tested for lupus, and it came back that I had it. So, and they basically, what it was, obviously I already had it, but the lighting at Walmart, the fluorescent lighting up there, it acts just like the sun as far as I want to say this right. Like when you have lupus, you have photosensitivity, which means you just can't handle the UV rays from the sun, and indoor lighting like fluorescent lights or halogen bulbs, which of course anyone can get damaged from the sun, But when you have lupus, it causes a lot more symptoms. It can bring on your symptoms, and it can cause a flare, which today I've been in a flare for a few days, and I haven't really been able to rest because I had my 3-year-old granddaughter Emma, and I took her home last night, but which I love having her, it's not that, but when you're in flare, you need to rest. Last night I had to do some grocery shopping. My 17-year-old grandson who lives here gave me a long list of things he wanted. I told him next time he's going with me. Anyway, but after, and it took me quite a while because he had things on his list. I had no idea where they were, so I was like, run back and forth. And Walmart's already hard on me, well, because of the lights for one thing, but also just because their floor is so hard, and I've got a hip messing with me. And so by the time I'm done shopping at Walmart for anything, I can't hardly walk. So anyway, but already being in a flare, and then being in those lights for several hours, uh, it really, today, it really accelerated my flare, so I just feel like poo. Anyway, I wrote down a few things that I wanted to mention. But yeah, like if, oh, duh. Some of the things that for people with lupus, just being like in Walmart under the light or in the sun under the UV rays. So there's UVA and UVB rays, and it can give us like skin lesions or sores, whichever. I get them in the mouth and the nose. You can get them on your skin too, which I always get the same rash. I always know when I'm first going into a flare because I get this rash on the lower back area. I'll get a lot of times, it's not that bad right now, but a lot of times my face, especially right along here, would be like really red.
Donna,
people usually think,
your reminder from Donna. Drink water.
Okay, thanks. Actually, I do need to do that here. Cheers.
Donna, here is your reminder from Donna. Drink water.
I started to say dehydrated. Need to stay dehydrated. Thank you. I did it. She has to remind me or I forget. I don't like water anyway. It's just blah. Anyway. Oh, but like, and right now, dude, I am all over the place. What I was going to say about that. A lot of times when I have, it's called the butterfly rash that you get. Lupus butterfly rash. It's like red across here. Of course, each person is different too. I don't want to make it seem like that, it's not the exact same way for everybody that has lupus. But oftentimes, because I know a lot of times I don't even notice it myself, and I've taken some pictures before when I had one, and people are like, oh wow, you got a sunburn. It's like I hadn't even been in the sun. But people don't understand it. That's just the lupus doing it. And I'm overdoing washing my hair. I need to wash my hair, but I don't feel like it, even though a hot bath sounds really good. I'm not up to washing my hair because that means combing out all the tingles. You can always tell when I'm due for or overdue for hair washing because I don't get oily, I get frizzy, and I get knots. Anyway, and a lot of people with lupus tend to lose their hair, which, I actually do not have as much hair as I used to, believe it or not. But I still, luckily, that's not one of the things I've really suffered from, because I have people I know that have it, and it's really upsetting, to them that they're losing a lot of their hair. But also, what I was going to say is, one of the things that the UV rays can cause, whether it be this inside or outside, is the sores. We get them in our mouth, which they can hurt. They like burn. It makes it hard eating sometimes. You can get it on your tongue or, on the inside of your mouth. In the nose, which right now I've got one inside the nose, and it hurts. It burns and it hurts, and it's just tender. But then sometimes it'll also itch. That's the same thing with the lupus rash that I get. It'll start out itching, and then it starts burning, and then it hurts. Man, I wish I had some Vaseline. Can you guys give me some Vaseline or lip gloss? Nobody's ever around. If I didn't need anything, then people would be right here trying to talk to me. But not now when I need something. I could get up and go get it, but I don't want to because I'm afraid to pause the video and not be able to get back to it. Anyway, okay. Focus, Donna. Oh, first though, I'm going to show you something funny, because this is kind of a serious video. So this is what I did earlier. These right here, because I've been fighting with gnats. So you see these things, those sticky things that hang, which I can't stand them, okay? But I can't stand gnats even more. So anyway, so I have, when he's hanging in my kitchen, this is, you just pull that out, and it's the long thing of sticky stuff. And I leaned in over my island in the kitchen, and my hair got stuck on it. And you can see I have a lot of hair anyway. And here I am, and plus I had gnats all over it. It was, I was like, like, oh my god, that's so gross. So here I am trying to like pull it out of my hair. Look at my hair. I found like one little gnat in my hair. I pulled that out. Definitely need to wash it now. Oh, but at the same time, I had to laugh at myself because I do things like that all the time. Which, not that was really an accident, but it's one more example of why my mom gave me the nickname Calamity Jane. Because always something happening. Or like the other day, I actually fell. I was giving Emma, my 3-year-old granddaughter, a bath, and I don't know what I was doing. Shh, girls. Stop. That is not good. I have a headache. Please stop. Please, girls. Stop. Girls, stop. Stop. I will close that curtain. Told them, didn't I? I'll try not to beat him this time. Yeah, that's something else. Oh, Lord, here I am. Oh, squirrel. Yeah, I had my doll opening. Don't let me forget to get back to the bath situation. This reminded me of that. When I did my doll opening, from my reborn baby from Lisa at Blue Grandma 64. Whiskey, this one, she was having a little bit of I really do think she was just a little jealous. Because I baby my dogs. They're my babies. I do not abuse them. But I do discipline them. And so during the video, though, I kept trying to get her out of the way, but I wasn't mean to her. But then, as you just saw, there's little Bree's a lot littler, and she's older. And for some reason, I guess Whiskey, she was getting aggravated at me because I wouldn't let her get in the box, and all that stuff. So she started taking it out on Bree. You couldn't really see it on camera, but you could hear it behind me if you listened. And so I had to break it up. And Whiskey wasn't listening, so yeah. I spanked her on the butt. And told her to stop. Because that's the only thing that was going to make her stop that. I wasn't going to let her sit there and, abuse my other dog. I won't put up with that. But I didn't hurt her. It did not hurt her. She knew Mom meant business when I did it, but it really didn't, didn't affect her because, she loves to play rough. But anyway, so I got a comment. So I'll comment last night on my box opening about some guy. Threatening. She called I think it was a he. I don't know. Calling the authorities on me, and that what was it? He said I was stupid for doing that, and that. But he tried to say that I abused my dog over, a doll that's not real. And it's like, that is not why. It was not about the dog. Why Whiskey got a little pat on the butt. Okay? So that really hurt my feelings. Which I know if you're going to do YouTube, you got to have thick skin. Because I had a couple other rude comments that, kind of irritated me. And especially right now, when I'm in a flare, I don't have as much patience, and I'll snap on you like that, which I'm actually doing. I don't know if you see that prednisone. Can you see it? Anyways, prednisone. I'm starting out with well, I've been on them a few days. I have to take 3 a day for a week, and then 2 a day for a week, and then 1 a day for a week. But, which, if you don't know, that's steroid, which I usually refuse to take them because steroids tend to make me mean. Imagine that. But it's supposed to help me to get back to normal and all that. So I'm doing it. Anyway, the bathtub. This all has nothing to do with lupus, but you know, we're okay. Oh, plus, hey, how you doing? I always forget to do that. Sorry. Just know that I mean to be polite and all those things, but I just, you know, the mind just doesn't really cooperate. Anyway, so I was given in my bath a couple days ago, or it might have been yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday before I took her home. And of course, she has this round thing that I keep outside the bathtub, that I keep all her bathtub toys in. It's like metal. And what did I do? I was doing something. I think I was rinsing her hair because I washed her hair and I was rinsing it. I usually use my spray thingy, but this time I just used a cup, like a big cup that I keep in the bathtub. And hang on. Okay, sorry, something was up there on my phone. Anyway, squirrel, yeah, again. Whatever happened, it just happened really It happened really fast, and I fell kind of backwards, and I ended up sitting right in the round thing for the bathtub toys. Oh, and it kind of hurt. But of course, also I've got from having ankle surgery for a broken ankle twice. My ankle gives out on me a lot, so that might have been what happened. I don't know. I'm just clumsy, okay? But anyway, she just thought that was just the funniest thing. So there I am trying to like, you know, to get up, you know. I really need somebody to like pull me up, but that wasn't happening, so I had to manage to. It wasn't easy. Old age just, I'm sorry, but it's not fun a lot of times. Anyway, back to the topic, okay? So then, does anybody know where we were? I think about how, it was about how I, getting the job at Walmart and working there under the lights is what really put the lupus into full force, and so that's how I got diagnosed. And so then went a few years, you know, with that. So here we were with fibro and then lupus, and then I don't know, a few years later, what was I diagnosed with? You'll lose count. Oh, Hashimotos. Which I was like, actually, hypothyroidism is what was first diagnosed with, you know, which hypo is the type that makes you gain weight. Yay, lucky me. But then also, I had thyroid nodules, so they had to do biopsy. And the biopsy showed that I have Hashimotos, which I remember thinking, you know, what the heck? It's like Japanese, I guess some Japanese disease, but no, I don't know why it's called Hashimotos. I'm sure I've known it one time because I Google everything, but I can't remember. So I added that to the list. And then in between there, it's because autoimmune diseases, they like to travel in groups. They don't want to be alone. So usually, if you have one autoimmune disease, at least eventually, you're going to end up with at least one more, if not several more. Because like there's like some other just smaller ones. I can't even remember the name of one of them. Anyway, there's other little ones that I have that you just get to the point where it's like you don't even pay attention to them, because a lot of them, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do for them anyway. But then, so yeah, and then a few years after that, I got diagnosed with gastroparesis, which I had never heard of gastroparesis. Most people, I don't think, have. It's supposed to be like rare. Anyway, it's just basically where your stomach, I have a lot of stomach pain. Your stomach does not digest food properly. So that means, like, even though I like steak, I love a good steak, but steak does not like me, because steak is very hard to digest. So my food will just like sit, things like that, especially steak, certain things they'll just sit there. And I get full really, really quick. But by cracky, it didn't stop me from eating a bunch of junk. Anyway, so yeah. Phone's ringing. He's gonna have to wait. And then it also, one very important thing. I never did. That's what y'all. You need to be reminding me of what I was talking about the sun, what it can do to, and the lights if you have lupus, because this is kind of important. I mean, it can cause, obviously the fatigue, can cause fever, which, like I said, it doesn't do this to everybody, but these are things that it can cause. The joint pain, flu-like symptoms, actually extreme joint pain, not just like a little sore, but extreme. The skin tingling and numbness, which I tend to get that right before I get my rash. It's like there's just certain signs. It's like, oh no. And I usually get really bad stomach pain when I get mine. Then the headache comes a few days later. But okay, and then this right here. This is very important. If you have lupus, you need to know this, because the rays of the sun and UV lights, fluorescent lights, can also cause what they call distant organ inflammation, which, in other words, lupus nephritis, which, if you don't know, that's nephritis, that's kidney problems. It can get as bad as it can just be in kidney hurting, or he's trying to call again. Busy. We call it infection, or it could even go as far as kidney failure. Like, I don't know if any of you know who the singer, I don't know what that's all about. Talk with my hands. Selena Gomez is the singer. She has lupus, and she actually had lupus nephritis, and she had to have a kidney transplant. I think one of her best friends gave her a kidney. So while some things from being in the sun just might cause discomfort, it can also be dangerous for us. So, but there's precautions that you can take, okay? And this is important, because if you don't know, because like I know when I first got lupus, I didn't know anything about it. I had so many questions, which, you can all, I can't say everything on this, because it'd be a 5-hour video or more, but you can always Google. Of course, ask your doctor. They have on Facebook, they have different support groups for people with lupus and other diseases. And like I said, Google anything, or you watch a YouTube video. Anyway, let me look at mine. Okay, one of the big things you can do is use a broad spectrum sunscreen. Lord, I can't read my own writing. at least 70 plus SPV that blocks UVA and UVB rays. And also, don't be stingy with it. Put on plenty. They say a lot of people don't put on enough sunscreen anyway, and if you have lupus, you really need to make sure you put on plenty of it and often. If you're out in the sun, keep reapplying it. Also, use it in the wintertime too, because you still get the rays in the wintertime. Which, if I was smart, I'd probably put some on when I go to Walmart. Wow, I never thought about that until right now. Or you can wear clothing, they say that dark and or colored, bright colored, dog's pulling my hair, clothes can protect you better than like white can from the rays. Also, like, wear long sleeves if you can. Wide brim hats, wide brim or wide, sunglasses that are wide, cover more area, and make sure that they are also special ones that protect you from all kinds of the UVA and UVB rays. And also, framed. That was the word I was looking for. Large framed sunglasses. Also, like inside, change all those bulbs that can put you in a flare and cause you pain. Change those to LED light bulbs. Okay? Like I said, Google for more tips, because there's a lot more. Also, because to me, knowledge is power. So learn as much as you can. And those groups are very helpful, because you're talking to other people, like-minded people that are going through the same thing as you are. And, you can share tips, and you can get tips from people that really know what they're talking about, and they're going to understand what you're going through. So yeah, those are really safe and good places to help you get through things, especially if you're in a flare or just first trying to figure out what the heck is going on with you. Also, it does run in families, because, for instance, and males and females can get it, and kids can get it, unfortunately. That's very sad, but yeah, young kids can get it. A lot of times you can go for years and have it and not even, they don't figure it out. Because just like with the Hashimotos and the lupus with me, it's like for some reason my body doesn't, like for blood test, things don't show up. The Hashimotos never showed up in a blood test. It wasn't until I got the biopsy that it finally, it showed up on the biopsy. As far as I still have the nodules. I've got a few of them. Actually, I'm due for another. It's kind of those watch and see type deals. The doctor offered one time, the specialist offered to take my thyroid out, but I'm not ready to do that. Anyway, but yeah, because my sister, she's about a year and a half older than me, approximately. I'm the baby. She's got lupus, and she's got some other ones just like I do, little random ones. I call them random, they all matter, but, like, one reason I didn't want to say, because I always have trouble pronouncing it, Sjogren's disease. Like, makes your mouth dry and different stuff, but does different things, but then my sister also has, because, they like company, so she has Addison's disease, which is a very serious autoimmune disease. Could be life-threatening. Okay, and then unfortunately, my daughter has lupus, which she's got it she has it severely because some people you can just have it. Some people have, they hardly even notice they have it. Other people have it, just kind of in between, like good days. I might be one of those because I have days where I can do pretty good, even though I never feel 100%. I'm always hurting somewhere. But almost like to me, if I don't have a bad headache, I'm like, hallelujah. And if I'm not, as long as I get enough sleep, because I suffer from exhaustion a lot. And like I said, I don't sleep good. But then I have days where, actually several days in a row, there's times when I've stayed in bed for like a week at a time before. Especially because I get migraines. And there is a lupus migraine. And I get both. I've had both. Can't explain to you the difference, but there is. But anyway, but my daughter, hers is, and it breaks my heart. It's hard to see your kids in pain, and I feel guilty because I feel like I handed it down to her. But she's got very bad lupus, and then on top of that, bless her heart, she also has rheumatoid arthritis. And then she's also got several other things that, kind of stemming from lupus and rheumatoid arthritis that she deals with too. So yeah, she has a real hard time. And it's just, I don't know, it's not right. It's not fair. But I would take all of hers away from her if she could just be healthy and live a normal life. And I prayed that, none of my kids got it. And she did. But that brings me to this, though, that a lot of times, and like I said, they can get it young. I think she had it for years. Because she had all the symptoms and stuff. But she just got worse and worse. But I naively thought, she's too young, and didn't get her tested. But I'm telling you right now, if it's in your family and you have a child that is having symptoms, get them tested, because they very well could have it, especially if it runs in the family, then they're more likely to have it. And if they're having the symptoms, then they probably do. Sorry. And the sooner you get, treatment for it, because just like with the rheumatoid arthritis, it does permanent damage to your body. And the longer you wait to get treatment for that, the more damage that it's doing. And unfortunately, that's the case with my daughter. And also, don't do what I did and wait too long to apply for disability, because I waited too long and now I'm told I can't. One thing, I let my pride get in my way, because I wasn't old, or I wasn't really young, but I wasn't old, and I just thought, I'm fine, I don't need disability. I say that for people that really need it. But you know what? Got to where, I tried several more times, to work a real job, and I couldn't. It never lasted. And then it would just make me feel worse about myself. Which, and a little part of that was because of, being hit by the drunk driver, and what year was that? 2000. Yeah, 2000. That's when I lived in Florida. And yeah, I was on my way home from my job, my career that I loved. I was a chiropractic assistant, which means I worked in the office, did scheduling and greeted people and all that stuff. Then I also helped the doctor, with the appointments, took the blood pressure, and I did if you've ever been to a chiropractor, they do therapy, which People used to think that I was like a massage therapist. No, they had those, which I got massages for free and I loved it. But no, it's the therapies like traction, the light that they do. There's different things. I can't. My head's pounding now, so I can't think of it. But yeah, just different. Just different. Laying on ice packs. Speaking of ice, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Don't let me forget. But yeah, that I was on my way home from work, and 20-year-old boy, he was celebrating his 20th birthday, and my ex-husband was fixing dinner. I was so excited because I love the show Friends, and it was like one of the what'd they call those? One of the special shows. Couldn't wait to get home. I was going to get home just in time. I think it was it 7 that it started? It was either 7 or 8. I can't remember. And I didn't live that far from where I worked, is a thing too. But the bar was right there, like in the middle of, me and my work and my home. And here comes this big black truck. That's why, and there is PTSD is real. Uh-oh. He's been calling, now he's here. Because I still, to this day, if I see a truck, especially